George Orwell's 1984 is a novel in which Winston, a man who lives in a dystopian society, is subject to the rule of a corrupt government. When further analyzed, we can delve below the literal level and find distinct connections between 1984 and modern-day America. The issue of public privacy in America has come with the advancements of technology, which the movie Citizen 4 analyzed. Organizations, programs, and public figures such as the NSA, Tempora, and Edward Snowden correlate to 1984's Thought Police, Memory Holes, and Winston. The Thought Police are a secret police of Oceania whose sole purpose is to uncover and punish thought criminals, people who commit thought crime. They use twisted psychology and constant surveillance to monitor the public. Anyone who deviates from the party's thinking is labeled as committing thought crime and convicted. People simply disappeared, always during the night, explained Winston. Your name was removed from the registers. Every record of everything you have ever done was wiped out, and your one-time existence was denied and then forgotten. You're abolished, annihilated. Vaporized was the usual word. In the past few years, a government agency referred to as the National Security Agency has been revealed to have been violating public privacy in such a manner. The NSA has built an infrastructure that allows it to intercept almost everything. With this capability, the vast majority of human communications are automatically ingested without targeting, explains former NSA worker Edward Snowden. Without any viable reason or suspicions, the NSA can delve into the nooks and crannies of one's personal, social, and professional life. The memory holes used by citizens of Oceania and the program Tempora, used by the NSA, serve the purpose of collecting data. In 1984, it is an automatic action to, as soon as one is finished working, or simply finds a scrap piece of paper, throw the scrap into a memory hole, where it is assumed that the paper is burned. Winston, in good faith of this, puts a photograph that, if found, would mean his vaporization into the hole. Later, after his capture in the Ministry of Love, the photograph is presented to him, proving this common knowledge false. U.S. citizens put the same faith in their privacy when they use their electronic devices to communicate. Unrestricted screening of all sorts of personal data under the false pretense of protection from terrorist threats to the U.S. is a major violation of privacy. As summarized by Edward Snowden, you're always being pursued by your data shadow, which is forming from thousands of little leaks and tributaries of information. During times of universal deceit, George Orwell concludes, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. This is the basis on which both Winston and Edward Snowden are perceived as revolutionaries. While one is a fictional character in the novel 1984, and the other is a very real American citizen, Edward Snowden and Winston have uncanny resemblances. Both pursuing careers in government agencies, they were given high clearance where they were exposed to subjects that caused them to reevaluate their morals and what they were and were not willing to do and stand up for. The factor that played the biggest part in their different rebellions was love. Edward Snowden's love spurred from his great patriotism and love for his country, whereas Winston's rebellion against the party peaked with his love and passion for Julia. Grounded in the sense of patriotism and morals, Edward Snowden states that, I cannot in good conscience allow the U.S. government to destroy privacy, internet freedoms, and basic liberties for people around the world with this surveillance machine they're secretly building. Both driven by love, they committed thought crime by deviating from their party's thinking. Manifested in different manners, their rebellions followed the same guide. As put by Edward Snowden, almost as if speaking for Winston, I do not want to live in a world where everything I do and say is recorded. That is not something I am willing to support or live under. Their greatest crime and rebellion was their passion.